The Didache, also known as the Teaching of the 12 Apostles, is an early Christian text that dates back to the late 1st or early 2nd century AD. It is a short manual of Christian instruction, and is believed to have been written to provide guidance for Christian communities that were just beginning to form. The text is considered to be one of the earliest examples of Christian literature outside the New Testament, and is considered an important source for understanding the beliefs and practices of the early Christian Church. The authorship of the Didache is uncertain, but it is traditionally attributed to the apostles themselves, or to their immediate followers. However, most scholars believe that it was likely written by an anonymous Christian community, rather than by a single individual. The text is believed to have been written in Greek, and it is thought to have been composed in Syria or Palestine, but it's not clear when and by whom. The earliest manuscript of the Didache was found in 1873 among the Greek Orthodox monasteries of Jerusalem, and it is dated around the 10th century AD. The Didache is divided into two main sections. The first provides instructions for Christian living, and the second contains liturgical and Eucharistic prayers. The first section, known as the Two Ways, is divided into two chapters and presents the reader with the choice between the way of life and the way of death. It gives a list of virtues and vices, commands and prohibitions that the reader should follow. This section covers moral and ethical teachings, such as love for God and neighbor, non-retaliation and non-covetousness, and some practices and customs such as fasting, prayer, almsgiving and baptism. This section is considered to be the most important part of the Didache, and it has been used as a source for many early Christian texts and catechisms. The two-way section is also considered to be a summary of the main ethical teachings of Jesus Christ, and it can be seen as an early form of Christian catechesis. The second section, known as the liturgical and Eucharistic prayers, is divided into 4 chapters, and it covers the liturgical practices and the Eucharistic prayers. It lays out instructions for baptism, fasting, and the celebration of the Eucharist, and includes prayers that were to be said before and after the Eucharistic meal, as well as prayers for the forgiveness of sins. This section is considered to be a valuable source for understanding the liturgical practices and beliefs of the early Christian Church. It is also considered to be an early form of the Eucharistic liturgy that was used by the early Christian communities. The liturgical and Eucharistic prayers section of the Didache shows the development of the Christian liturgy and the Eucharistic celebration from the Jewish tradition and the early Christian practices. In summary, the Didache is an early Christian text that provides guidance on Christian living, moral and ethical teachings, liturgical practices, and Eucharistic prayers. It is considered to be an important document for understanding the beliefs and practices of the early Christian Church, particularly in the area of moral and ethical teachings and liturgical practices. It is also considered to be an important source for understanding the development of Christian liturgy and catechesis. The text is considered to be an important historical document that reflects the beliefs and practices of the early Christian communities in the 1st and 2nd century AD. The Didache, or the Teaching of the 12 Apostles, contains several quotes about false prophets and false teachers. These quotes serve as warnings to the early Christian communities about the dangers of false teachings and false prophets, and provide guidance on how to identify and avoid them. One of the most notable quotes about false prophets is found in the first chapter of the Two-Way section, where it states, "Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing but inwardly are ravenous wolves." Didache 11:5. This quote serves as a warning to be vigilant and cautious of those who claim to be prophets or teachers, but who are not truly following the teachings of Christ. Another quote in the same section reads, "But every prophet who teaches the truth, but does not do what he teaches, is a false prophet." Didache 11:10. This quote emphasizes the importance of actions and deeds, and the fact that true prophets and teachers will not only speak the truth, but also live it out in their own lives. In the second section, there is a quote that states, "Let every apostle who comes to you be received as the Lord." Didache 13:3. This quote is a reminder that the apostles and teachers who come to the community should be treated with respect and reverence, but it also implies that one should be careful and discerning when receiving strangers who claim to be apostles. In the same section, there is another quote that states, "But let no one, after he has come to a knowledge of the truth, go back to the vain things of the world." Didache 14:1. This quote warns against those who have come to know the truth, but then return to their old ways. This could be understood as a warning against those who were false prophets or false teachers. In summary, the Didache provides several quotes that serve as warnings to the early Christian communities about the dangers of false prophets and false teachers, and provide guidance on how to identify and avoid them. These quotes emphasize the importance of being vigilant, discerning, and faithful to the teachings of Christ, and remind the readers that true prophets and teachers will not only speak the truth, but also live it out in their own lives. Thank you for watching our video about the Didache. We hope that you have gained a better understanding of this important early Christian text and the insights it provides into the beliefs and practices of the early Christian church. If you found this video informative and helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We also want to bless you and remind you that as you continue to learn about the teachings of the early Christian church, may you be inspired to live out the teachings of Jesus Christ in your own life, and may the Lord guide you in your journey of faith. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.